Hey everyone, I hope you're ready to go on another adventure. And what better place to go for my first full-length adventure film since Return to Black Elk than back to South Dakota. I can't help myself. Almost every trip I take to South Dakota starts with stopping by Cascade Falls just south of Hot Springs. If it's warm enough to swim, you absolutely should plan enough time to get in the water. The clear, spring-fed water of Cascade Falls stays temperate year-round, and its many cascades and pools just cannot be fully explored from dry land, so get your feet wet. The setting of Cascade Falls is so unique and the water so clear, if you didn't know where you were, you might assume you were in the tropics. But as fun as Cascade Falls is, it's time to dry off and continue heading north, taking my favorite route through the Black Hills, the Needles Highway. If you're taking the Needles Highway, take it slow. Make sure to stop and take in the sights and snap plenty of pictures. There's hardly a turn that doesn't reveal a scenic vista. One of the things I love about taking trips to the Black Hills is you never know just what you're going to see. This time, it was two longboarders expertly taking on the curves of the Needles Highway. And people think I'm a daredevil. I could spend weeks in this part of the hills, but on this trip, it's not my main destination. So it's time to keep heading north to Spearfish Canyon. After getting our camp set up, Griffin and I waste no time in seeing Spearfish Canyon the way it's best seen, by getting off the beaten path. Our first hike, Devil's Bathtub. As you can see, I was fortunate enough to visit Spearfish Canyon at the peak of fall colors. What an experience. If you're planning on hiking to Devil's Bathtub, which I highly recommend, plan on getting wet. It's virtually impossible to make this hike and stay dry. You have to cross over the stream many times. So if you want to keep your feet from getting wet, maybe avoid this hike. But if you're like me and you love the water, then this is absolutely the hike for you. Entire portions of the hike can be completed by hiking up the stream. The trout in the pools and the many cascades and waterfalls are an absolute treat, especially on a hot summer day. I've taken a lot of hikes in a lot of states, but ultimately, Devil's Bathtub in fall colors has to rank in the top 3 hikes I've ever taken, and it's easy to see why. It is simply incredible. Every way you look, it's an explosion of fall color. The roots, the trees, and the landscape created by the creek, combined with the amazing rock walls, make this an unforgettable hike. I don't throw the term around a lot, but it really is magical, an absolute must experience. If you think the video is pretty, trust me, this is a hike that will blow your mind when you take it in person. One of the things that I love about South Dakota is that while you're on a hike like this, scrambling up tree roots in the side of a creek, walking through golden forests, wading through crystal clear pools of trout, looking at waterfalls, rock walls, moss, and just the colors and life around you. You can entirely forget where you are. Suddenly, you're not in South Dakota. You're in your childhood. You're in your favorite book. You're in a movie set in an epic landscape. I've found South Dakota to be unique in this, because it has so many places that remind you of so many other places, and yet is totally special in and of itself. It's worth mentioning that at this time of year, the water is very cold, so unless you're like me and have an extremely high tolerance for cold water, probably better to do this hike in the summer months. The Devil's Bathtub itself is a gorgeous cascade into a tranquil pool. I'm told that years ago, children could slide down the waterfall into the pool below, but since then, a boulder has fallen into the base of the waterfall, making this dangerous if not impossible. Whether you're driving or hiking, viewing from the ground or from the air, one thing is certain: Spearfish Canyon in the fall is absolutely stunning. We finished our hike to Devil's Bathtub, feeling like we had already gotten our money's worth out of our trip to Spearfish Canyon, but we still had one hike on the itinerary. Our second hike would be a short, slippery, steep scramble up to Community Caves. While some might argue that they don't go far back enough or deep enough into the rock to be considered actual caves, one thing is certain: these caverns surrounding a lone waterfall high above the canyon floor are absolutely jaw-dropping. We spent several days camping in the canyon, just taking it all in, and it was wonderful. But before we knew it, it was time to start heading back south, though not to go home just quite yet. We spent our last foggy afternoon heading for the summit of Little Devil's Tower. After starting off with a colorful, easy walk down a section of Harney Peak Trail 4, it was time to split off on Little Devil's Tower Spur and get serious about reaching the top. The higher we hiked, the more the low cloud cover thickened. By the time we were making our final push on the summit of Little Devil's Tower, it was hard to see much but the rocks that were right in front of us. We had no guarantee that we'd get a view from the top, only a gut instinct that maybe, just maybe, the clouds would lower enough for us to see. It took 2 hours of waiting on the summit, soaking wet and freezing cold, but our instincts paid off. The cloud ceiling lowered, and for just a moment, we got to stand above the clouds. We packed a lot into several days, from swimming in crystal clear waters to standing on top of mountains. And one thing is for sure, South Dakota has never disappointed. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed our adventure. This is me signing off until we adventure next time.